Hey everyone! The developers obviously wanted to maintain the core of Diablo 2, but they also wanted to improve areas of the game that needed it. With the exception of the obvious graphical changes, there were many new features added to enhance the D2 experience. Before we jump in, I want to say if I miss any features, make sure to let me know in the comments. I also have another video where I give a quick rundown of Diablo 2 Resurrected, so some of the features you may expect to see here, like cross progression and console play, I've already mentioned in that video, so be sure to check it out if you already haven't. Let's jump right in. First on the list is camera zoom. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You can zoom in on your character. So if you really wanted to, you could get an up close and personal view of the lovely Amazon's face. Next is the legacy toggle feature. You'll be able to flip back and forth between the old and new visuals. They definitely weren't lying when they said the old game is running underneath the new renderer. Next is new item visuals. Unique items like shields or weapons will reflect the icon art when equipped onto your character. So items like Bone Snap will actually appear on your character with a giant metal skull for the face, rather than just looking like any other base mall. New sound features. All audio has been remastered. They also added surround sound features and added more ambience and effects to certain areas of the game, like footstep sounds having more variety, more depth to the sound of rain, and so on. I'm a huge fan of good sounds in video games, so I'm really excited to experience these features. And next up we have probably one of the best changes, a shared stash. The developers knew that people made mule characters, which for those of you who don't know, are just characters made specifically to store items on. So they implemented a shared stash. There are rules that apply to your stash though, like non-ladder characters can't share with ladder characters and stuff like that. And it looks like in this clip here that you can have multiple shared stashes. The developers also overhauled the UI. Everything is still there that you'd expect to be there, like your potions, stamina, health, and mana, but they integrated UI buttons like the menu, your skill tree, your character sheet, right into the UI. I personally love the new UI. I think it looks amazing, and it's definitely a great quality of life feature. Also included in the revamp of the new UI is an advanced stats panel in the character pane. Here you can see all the information you get from items like your magic find, your fire damage, etc., so you don't have to add all that stuff up yourself. Auto gold has been added as a toggle feature, so if you'd rather pick up each pile of gold, which I don't know why you would, then you can turn the feature off and slowly work towards your goal of crippling carpal tunnel. Next we have controller support. Yes, we already know that Resurrected will be on consoles, but the PC version will also have access to controller support if the player chooses to use one. I love features like this because it makes the game more accessible to more people, and I think Diablo 2 is one of those games that everybody should try. Stash hotkeys. They are looking into quick keys to store things into your stash rather than having to click and drag every single item in there. I wonder if this means they'll add a hotkey for quick dropping items, which is something that's been incredibly useful to me on all the modded servers I've played on. Item comparison tooltips, where by just holding a specified key, you can compare the items that you're wearing with an item in your inventory. Rob iterated here. He said that they didn't want to suggest any items to players to avoid confusion, and that items are just too hard to suggest because every character can use any item in the game, which in my opinion is what makes this game so great anyway. They've added new languages, 5 new languages to be exact. These new languages appear to be Russian, Japanese, Chinese, Portuguese, and German. The entire front end of the game has been renovated. There is a whole new character selection screen where your character is much larger and front and center of the screen, and there's a backdrop behind your character representing what act that character is in. It's really reminiscent of the World of Warcraft character selection screen, but I think it looks fucking awesome. Improvements to the Battlenet lobby have been made, like being able to filter games by difficulty even if you've progressed past that difficulty. So say if you killed Bale on Nightmare mode but you weren't ready to progress to Hell yet, you wouldn't actually be able to go back and search for Nightmare games on that character anymore. But this new feature actually fixes that for players. Reducing ladder seasons. Currently, Diablo 2 seasons last for 6 months, which is ridiculously long. Developers plan on reducing this time frame to increase the number of resets throughout the year and hopefully increase player engagement. In Diablo 2 Resurrected, there will be global servers. Because there are global servers and cross progression, players will be able to choose whatever names they want for their characters, which means duplicate names will be allowed. But players will be ID'd by their battle tags, gamer IDs, and so on. This also means you can play with people all over the world, which is great for a gamer shut-in such as myself. Global servers also have a pretty significant impact on leaderboards, which is our next feature. Leaderboards will be global now, so the race to 99 will be much more intense than in the past since you'll be competing with everyone else in the world. Leaderboards will also be saved. So if you were one of the top players to get level 99 in season 1 or whatever, you'll be able to go back seasons later and reminisce about all that time you'll never get back leveling from 98 to 99. And lastly, we have character expiration. Because of modern Battlenet integrations, you don't have to worry about refreshing your characters anymore to keep them around. They'll just be there permanently. And that's all the new features added in Diablo 2 Resurrected. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my overview of Diablo 2 Resurrected, where I talk about topics not discussed in this video. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe for more gaming related content. Take care, everyone.